Hello, friend, and welcome back to the Path to Better A1C podcast. I am your host, Jenny Pena, National Board Certified Health and Wellness Coach, Diabetes Prevention Program Lifestyle Coach, creator of the A1C Reset Protocol, a 12-week signature coaching program tailored to balance your blood sugars, lower your A1C, prevent diabetes, and maybe lose a few pounds as well. And I am the founder and CEO of Gempi Coaching. Now, this is one of the most exciting episodes to record, and the one that I think a lot of people are going to enjoy the most. It is about sugar. And what is this whole thing about sugar? What is really doing to your body? And what does it do even beyond diabetes, right? What is so wrong about sugar, right? Like we do need carbs, we do need this. So we're going to go over a few things. Now, if you're listening live, it's July 4th, and in the US it's Independence Day. So happy Independence Day. And I know that it is a day typically for us that are in the US of celebration, fireworks, a lot of barbecue, cookouts, and let's be honest, also a lot of sugar from lemonade, ice cream, ketchup, barbecue sauce, all of these things have sugar as front and center. But here's the thing. Sugar doesn't just affect the blood sugar, right? It's not just about the glucose levels in your bloodstream only. It impacts your energy, impacts your skin, your gut, your hormones, your entire body. So today, I am going to walk you through what sugar is really doing behind the scenes, even when you don't have diabetes. And stick with me because I'm also launching something that is brand new, and it's going to be my first ever free summer book club. And you're invited. So I'm going to talk to you a little bit about in the end, but all the information is going to be in the show notes. Now, let's dive in. How does sugar really impact your body? Because when we think of sugar, we think of desserts, we think of soda, but it's about so much more. And here's what too much added sugar can do to you. First, it can actually impact your energy and your mood. So it causes quick spikes followed by energy crashes. It messes with your brain's reward system, right? Like, so it leaves you foggy, anxious, tired, irritable, right? Like very moody. And that is just one thing that the sugar does in terms of your energy and your mood. Now, there's another element that has to do with hormones and inflammation. Sugar increases cortisol, your stress hormone. It contributes to hormone imbalances and fuels inflammation. It can actually worsen joint pains, skin issues, even increase your risk of chronic illness. And then it also has a component in terms of sleep and digestion because it can actually impact how you produce melatonin. And also, it has a component as to how it feeds the wrong bacteria in your gut. So you see how like all these things are connected? It can cause bloating, poor sleep, can make brain fog even worse. So even if you don't have diabetes, and I hear that a lot of people think that because they don't have diabetes, they don't need to worry about their sugar intake, and that is absolutely wrong. Sugar can still be sabotaging you of different goals that you may have. Now, the one major thing that I have to go through with my clients is how sugar hides in food labels. Because, cha 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 chan, there is like over 50 names, different names that are in those labels as ingredients that are sugar that are not using the word sugar. And let me explain. That is tricky, right? It's almost like sugar is going undercover. And here's some names that don't say sugar, but are in fact sugar. One major one, most people know about this one: high fructose corn syrup, agave nectar, evaporated cane juice, brown rice syrup, fruit juice concentrate, maltodextrin, barley malt, dextrose, fructose, glucose, sucrose, lactose, maltose. Everything pretty much that ends in ose most likely is a form of sugar. Again, there's just a few more than 50 names, right? Like this is just a few that I'm mentioning, the ones that are more common. But there are more than 50 out there that they can hide under these food labels. And you can find those in granola bars, bread, salad dressings, yogurt, pasta sauces. And it doesn't matter. Some of these things will actually have in their label that they're low fat, that they're natural, that they're organic. It doesn't mean that they're sugar free. Okay, so be mindful of that. One of the best things that you can actually do today is go into the things that you have, meaning your sauces, the things that you typically use for your everyday meals, and check for the added sugars line in the nutrition label. And scan the ingredient list. See if you find a lot of those in there. And identify those sneaky names. That is an amazing exercise. It will open your eyes. And maybe it is time that when you go grocery shopping, you start looking at these things and maybe swap a few things. Now, another element that a lot of my clients ask. First, they ask of, okay, like, what is this whole thing about sugar? Can I actually have sugar? How much sugar is too much? So let's talk numbers. According to the American Heart Association and many nutritionists, the general guideline is that a woman should aim for no more than 25 grams of added sugar per day. And a man, no more than 36 grams of sugar per day. That's about 6 to 9 teaspoons. And I can tell you, and if you have been following me, you'll know my story about how for years I had a large coffee with a vanilla creamer that was already with tons of sugar. And then I added like 5 teaspoons of sugar. Pretty much I exceeded the 25 grams before it was 10 o'clock in the morning. And I had a butter roll and I had a bunch of other like high sugar stuff throughout the day. So it is easy for you to add those things up. And to put even things into perspective, one 12-ounce can of soda, only one can has 39 grams of added sugar. So for both women and men, if you have that one can of soda, you have already exceeded the recommended amount of sugar for your day. I know, mind blowing, right? And many healthy cereals and even smoothie packs, they pack 20 to 30 grams without you even realizing. So please take time, look at the labels, right? Like if you have your time, look at the labels and explore that, because even natural sugars like honey, maple syrup, coconut sugar, they count toward these added sugar limit. They're natural options. They're better options for most of us, but it's still added sugar. Now, one thing that some clients also have reached out, typically like when we're doing clarity calls or when we're having coaching sessions, is like, what is the difference between carbs and sugar? Are all carbs sugar? Like, does this mean that I can only have 25 grams of carbs? And I'm like, well, let's clarify. And again, this is very common. I get asked this all the time. Here's the deal. All sugars are carbohydrates. All sugars are carbs, but not all carbohydrates are sugar. I'm going to say that again. All sugars are carbs, but not all carbs are sugar. And here's the breakdown, right? Carbs break down into sugar in the body. Some do it quickly, some do it a bit more slow, and it depends on the fiber that is in there. The ones that do it quickly and that turn into sugar quickly in your body are called simple carbs. And they create those quick spikes. Think soda, candy, pastries, juice. They spike your blood sugar fairly quickly. Now, when you think about complex carbs, it means that it has fiber and starch. So they have a slow and steady pace when it comes to increasing your glucose levels and your blood sugar. Think beans, whole grains, and vegetables. Now, complex carbs give you sustained energy and keep your blood sugar stable, especially when paired with protein and fat. And I keep saying that all the time. So it is not about cutting all carbs. It's not about swearing off all these things, but it's about being mindful of the added sugar kind, the ones that are not complex, and trying to limit those, right? So here are some swaps that I'm going to suggest because I know that that's the next question. A lot of my clients, they're used to having table sugar. I don't have table sugar in my house. It took a while for me to transition myself and adjust my palate, but I just don't have it anymore. I don't use it. Um, but my clients have to go through pretty much the same process that I had to go through, which was to slowly reduce that intake of the added sugars. Now, here are some tips in terms of how you can swap some. If you love soda, you already know that one can has way over the recommended amount for a man. So swap soda for like flavored sparkling water, maybe iced green tea, and that will be an amazing swap. The same thing with oatmeal. Oatmeal, it can be a slippery slope, especially if you have diabetes, because most of my clients, even when they get that old fashioned oatmeal with lots of fiber, a lot of them, they do get still a big spike. But instead of sweetening the oatmeal, if you really want to enjoy your oatmeal, you have to work things out and test and see how your body is affected. But instead of using table sugar, use fruit, use cinnamon. You don't have to add brown sugar. If the fruit is sweet and it's a natural source of sugar, it's not added sugar, you can eat your oatmeal with that. And that is a great way of swapping that. Yogurts. Again, yogurt is great and it's a great source of protein, but when you get these flavored yogurts, a lot of them have added sugars. So the best and safest way is to get plain. Get the plain Greek yogurt and add the fruit yourself. Nowadays, there's some that say that they don't have added sugars. That's another way of you checking. Make sure you look at the ingredients and all of that. There are many options now that you can buy that clearly say that they don't have any added sugar. And read the labels for these added sugars in sauces and snacks, all these marinades, the barbecues, the salad dressings. And when we started to look deep into all the meals, we realized, well, you're going to have to swap and do certain things with this dressing. And we were able to swap it to something that had a similar flavor profile and not as much added sugar. Now, all these, you may think, are these things going to matter? They do. They do. So, all these small steps can make a huge difference on how you feel throughout the day, how your blood sugar is spiking, how even your focus and energy levels are throughout the day. So, I would say look through the things that you're using, start swapping things slowly, and then I'll be mindful. Be mindful of what added sugar is, what carbs are, and start making those changes. You are going to notice a lot of changes the moment that you start incorporating this. After a few days, a lot of my clients, after a few days, they may feel almost like that sugar detox flu symptom, the body almost craving that sugar because sugar can be a bit addictive in a sense, but they feel great after. So if you're listening and thinking, I need to get more intentional about this sugar thing, you're not alone. We all kind of struggle with that. And you don't need to go all in and you don't need to do it perfectly, but I have something fun for you to do for the summer. And I'm inviting you to my free virtual summer book club. And the book that we're reading is The Year of No Sugar by Eve Schaub. And this is a memoir. And it's hilarious and it's an eye opening story of a real family trying to eliminate added sugar for a year and what it taught them. So I thought that was perfect for the summer while you're on vacation. You can read this, it's a very light reading. And here's what you will get, right? Like, I am not charging, I am actually going to be on vacation too. But I wanted to invite you into reading this book together and reflecting about these things. So you're going to get weekly email guides with reflections and journaling prompts. Um, it's very low pressure, very flexible. And I am actually going to just send a pre recorded video to everybody at the beginning. But towards the end of the summer, I am going to just have a final live Zoom wrap up session just to chat and connect and talk about our takeaways. What did we learn about it? And what can we apply? And whether you read the whole book or just a few chapters, it doesn't matter. You will walk away more mindful, more curious, and more in control of your sugar habits. So if you want to sign up, I will put everything on the description box. But you go to subscribepage.io/summerbook. And over there, you can actually sign up and you will get everything you need delivered to your inbox. And maybe this is going to be your read through the summer. Now, let's go over some takeaways so that you leave with all these summary. So let's recap. Summer affects way more than just blood sugar because it impacts your energy, your hormones, your gut, your mood, and even your sleep. So it's important to keep control over that. It hides in plain sight, right? On their names that we mentioned, fruit juice concentrate, maltodextrin, rice syrup, all these things. Try to aim for no more than 25 to 36 grams of added sugar per day, depending if you're a man or a woman. And try to choose whole carbs with fiber instead of those that fall in the category of processed carbs and that have a lot of added sugar in them. And if you want to explore the relationship with sugar in a safe, judgment-free space, again, join the book club. I may actually create a group or something on Facebook. I'm still on the fence. I wanted to make it very relaxed. But again, the link is going to be in the show notes. And let this be the summer that you take control, not by cutting everything out, because I am not about the restriction, but by tuning in, by being mindful and identifying how certain foods impact your energy levels. And thank you for spending your holiday with me. I will see you next week virtually. Bye, boys. And I will see some of you inside the book club. Have an amazing weekend. And until the next one, bye.